flow. Let's do it.
Sounds good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of 18th Avenue Podcast. I am your host, Rico Bottles, and here with me, my very special guest is
Freddy Malek, one and only.
Freddie, man. I want to thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. I know we've been trying to make this thing work now for some time. But as I said to you, I want to do it in person, and it just so happened you're here, you're in town this week.
Right, right.
How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Can't complain, man. Blessed with everything that's going on lately. We're just so blessed that, we can keep our heads up and keep moving.
Um, there's a couple things that I noticed today. Clearly, let's start from why you're even in town. Is the fact that you guys had a ball tournament.
Yeah, I
and,
mean,
and tell the people exactly what you do because you are a man of like many different skill sets and traits and experience. And let's get into that.
yeah, I mean, first of all, let's get into why I'm in town. I'm in town because with everything that's been going on lately, like I said, a good friend of mine called me up and said to me, it would be a good idea to have a soccer tournament to uplift our community, bring people together. And at first, I said to him, it's going to be difficult with everything that's going on, but God willing, we were able to pull it together.
Right.
And that's how you see, that's the reason why I'm in town. And to go back to your other question, my passion is football. I've been lucky to play the game and also to help train kids. So pretty much that's my passion.
How long did you play for? When did you start playing?
Well, I started playing back home in Liberia, maybe what, 80, 88. Started
88.
playing, very young man, and then war came around. I had to migrate Ghana, which was a good country for me because I was able to learn the game a different way. The discipline the Ghanaians have is different from Liberians, so I was able to blend both of them and kept playing till I found my way to North America.
Let's get a little bit into how different the playing style is in Liberia versus Ghana, for instance. What did you find that were like different about that?
I think, my opinion, once again, Ghanaians are very disciplined, hardworking when it comes to the game. And Liberians, we rely more on our talent, on our God-given talent. But Ghanaians, they know how to put in that work. And I found that if we Liberians were to adapt that and combine both, sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit for us.
Yeah.
That's actually a profound thing to say because I also like many of us, we all grew up playing soccer. I would say.
Right.
Most people here in this country, in Canada, for instance, they probably learn how to play hockey or basketball.
Right.
Whereas for us,
Soccer.
soccer is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember playing like bare feet,
That's what we do.
no shoes,
And that's how we got better. That's how we got better.
playing on a rival.
Pitch is all bumpy.
Right.
Balls
That's
all
right.
bouncy. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's great. So since we are on Liberia right now, let's talk about the war and how that maybe impacted you. Where were you when it happened? How much of it do you remember?
Well, I remember a lot. I mean, one night I remember when I went to, I left my mom's house, 1990. I usually go on the weekends to go to my uncle's house because my cousin and them lived like maybe 45 minutes away. So I would go there. Sometimes I would ride. We call it wheel. You put the fan, cut the things, and we just ride the wheel. And I would ride and go down to my cousin's crib and go and play. I would stay there the Sunday and come home, and then Monday go to school. It just happened this Friday when I went there, I didn't come back. That's when the war really broke out. So my mom didn't even know if I was alive or dead. So I ended up staying there. Back in the days, no phone. You can't call. You can't be like, "Oh, Mom, I'm here." No one know where you were, and I was there. I remember the whole '89 Christmas. I was there to go into 1990. I was there and couldn't contact my mom. She didn't know where I was, so I just stayed. I mean, that's my uncle's crib. Even though my mom was worried, and I was there, and one day, a friend of mine he was actually fighting, even though he was a little boy, but he was fighting. He said to me, there's a ship that leaving Ghana. I can get you on there. I'm like, man, I want to get out of here.
So you got to Ghana on a ship.
Yeah. I said, I want to get out of here because I didn't know if my mom was alive either.
For that, yeah.
You know, my siblings were all with my mom, so I ended up getting on there. I remember September 3rd, 1990. I arrived in Ghana. Young man.
So the war starts in '89, and September 3rd.
Yeah,
you're
around
only
Christmas.
in the country. You're only in the country for not so long before. Well, I mean that's good. That's good 7, 8 months.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't really see.
Almost a year.
I can't really speak of the war, but what I saw, it wasn't pleasant. You know what I mean? So it's not something like people like sometimes friends of mine would be like, "Oh, you already left. You don't know what we went through." But what I went through,
You can,
it's
you can
still
only speak from your own
yeah,
experience.
it's still to this day I still remember it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I remember exactly what I was doing. Yeah. All right. You're familiar with the Pankana?
Yeah, of course.
I was sitting on the hill, and I could just hear the whistling of bullets.
The missiles, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And I was breaking the Pankana, but you know I'm a kid, so I didn't know what that was.
Right.
I had no idea if it was a bullet or whatever. And after I broke it, I stood up and I casually just walked home. Because like I told you before, my house is right by the Barrow practice ground.
Right. You said that.
I don't even know the name of that
That's
area.
I think that Effie area.
Effie
Yeah,
area,
if I'm not
because-
mistaken. If
Yeah,
I'm
there's
not
a
mistaken.
swamp right at the end.
Yep.
And then across the Crown community.
Yeah.
And so I walk home casually, maybe half an hour to an hour later. Boom, boom, just like that.
Bullets.
Yeah, bullet, bombs.
Yeah, but do
landmines.
you recall? I don't know if you guys did this, but we used to tell what type of guns were being used.
Oh, no, I didn't know.
With my friends, we'd be like, "That's an AK." No, that's it. We knew what type of guns.
How
We'd
did
be
you
like,
come to know what type of guns it was?
after a while, you
Yeah.
knew.
You knew what.
Oh yeah,
The-
we knew what type of. We can be like, yo, that's a 50 caliber. That's
Really?
Yeah.
The only gun sound I could recognize, and I don't even know what it's called, but we nickname it One Man One. It went whoa, big gun. It's fat.
That's a single barrel.
Single barrel.
Because it went
What?
pop,
Pop.
then it go again and pop. Yeah.
And you
Single
knew,
barrel, man.
You knew. So you just left Liberia. How crazy was that ship ride?
To be
Do
honest,
you
with
remember much of it?
oh yeah, I do.
The people died.
Yes.
Anyone fall
Oh,
off the ship?
a lot of
Yeah?
people died.
Yeah.
People jump overboard, like we say back home. And also, what happened was I didn't even know my uncle was on that ship. Another uncle now, not the one I was living with.
Oh.
So
another one.
I didn't know he was on with his family. So I'm on there. It took 3 days to get to Ghana. So I remember the second day, I'm looking for food. As I'm walking, I ran into my cousin. I'm like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "Oh, my dad is here." So we walk around the ship, around the other side. My uncle is there. Grabs me, give me a big hug. He's like, "Who you here with?" I'm like, "By myself." He's like, "Now you're gonna be with me." So we docked in Ghana, like I said, September 3rd, 1990. We arrived in Ghana, and all I see is UN ICR everywhere, man. UN ICR. I'm like, you know what? We're safe, man. We safe.
Do you remember? Because this is good 8 months before the war, before you actually leave the country. Do you remember what you were eating before you left? Like what kind of nutrition you were putting in
Oh
your
my
body? at
God,
that time?
nutrition was not
Yeah.
even the word we used. We just ate whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had because we lived by the port, so I would go there and go hustle. So we would climb up in the container and break open the boxes that had anything in it. Whatever was in it, we were gonna
Just
take it. But we ate a lot of mackerel because it had a lot of fish
right,
was
the
there.
fish,
yeah,
yeah.
we
Yeah.
ate a lot of dry mackerel.
Yeah.
Like you eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like by itself because rice was hard to come by. Rice is very hard to come by, you know. So we ate what we had to eat, man. The cabbage and everything, you know. We ate all those things, you know.
You're familiar with that? I think it's like flour or like some kind of grass.
Cocodoodle.
There's cocodolo, and then there's baba five fingers or something.
I know what you're talking about.
You, you know what I'm talking
I
about,
know
right?
what you're talking about. I can just think about the name, but I know what you're
Yeah,
talking.
yeah, yeah.
I
It's
ate that a
a type
lot.
of leaf,
Yeah, I ate that
and
a
it
lot.
will make it like fufu,
Yeah,
and
ate that a lot. Ate that a lot. You know, it was. But back then you didn't care. All you wanted was a meal.
just survival.
Yeah, you wanted a meal.
Survival of the
That was the most important thing. You wanted a meal. And it was hard to come by.
yeah, yeah. What a tragedy. So let's fast forward. We're in Ghana. How long how long is it you're in Ghana, or when did you apply for? How did you come to Canada first of all?
Well, I was in Ghana and I was doing well when it comes to soccer wise.
Okay, so you are already fit into the community because you came with that skill set
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
could play.
And we had our school team. What they do in Ghana is the district would play another district. Say for example, this province would play another province.
Okay.
So I remember I was in the Gomoa district, and through my school, I got scouted to play for the district,
Right.
and I did well. I mean, people were loving me to the point where I was supposed to get nationalized to play for the Ghana national team.
Oh,
Yeah, the youth team. And then one day, oh, let me just go back to this though. While I was on the camp, in the refugee camp, my dad showed up in the camp. He came on a different ship
oh wow.
while I was in the camp. And I didn't even know because when a ship would come, they would transfer them to the camp in buses. And people would go and wait to see family members. Yeah, and I used to go all the time, and I won't see nobody, and I would be so heartbroken. And this one time, I went, I looked, I didn't see nobody. I went home. Only a friend of mine came back to me and said, "Your dad is here." I'm like, "No way." So he took me where my dad was, and yeah, he chopped it up. You know, I'm glad you're alive. Your mom been worried, and you know, because my mom and dad divorced when I was one, so they weren't together.
The one together.
No,
doing the
they weren't
war.
together.
Or even when the wars come.
They weren't together. Yeah, so in that, when I met him, even with that, I was already in Ghana like a year after I met him. So I was still doing my thing. I was going, playing soccer. So to fast forward again to where I started, I got scouted, and I was doing so good. But not knowing he already applied for us to come here, and I didn't know that. And frankly, I didn't care because
So he had applied for you guys to come
Yeah.
here, even though he hadn't seen you. He just put.
no. When he was
Oh,
already in camp, after
you
we
guys
met, yeah, after
reunited.
yeah.
So then he applied.
Yeah, he applied, but he didn't tell me because you know back home people say you don't tell people you don't want to jinx it or wish it, you know.
Right.
So he didn't tell me, so I kept going with my soccer because for me, I felt that was a way out.
Right.
So I kept playing because a close friend of mine called Prince Day, he played for the national team. He brought a letter to us, you know, just boys, man. We had our boys' quarters where we chilled, and he was going to France. George Weah was taking him, and I was next in line. So I was my focus,
really good.
my focus and concentration was on getting my game better.
We are getting you.
Yeah,
Out of
and I know if I get myself better, I will go somewhere.
you'll go somewhere.
Yeah, so that's how the whole. Then Canada came along. My dad is like, one day from nowhere, we're going to Canada next week.
So you had no idea the entire process.
Nothing.
It's just out of nowhere.
He went through the whole thing, never told me.
How long did you live in Ghana?
I was in Ghana from 1990 to 1994.
1990 to 19. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. I remember my family. We were in Ivory Coast from 90 to like 97.
You guys are in the gen. We used to hear about you guys. We used to hear about you guys. You boys are, you boys are living the life out there.
No.
We used to hear about you boys,
Oh,
man.
yo,
Come
I-
on, man. The
Jam
gen.
was wild.
Done on it.
I mean, Ghana. But you know, it's crazy because a lot of that is like a blur memory. I think maybe like my older brothers probably have better story than I did because you know I'm younger than them, so they will have much better stories. But from my own little group. You know, it was just basically survival of the fittest. I remember like having to put things on my head, and my mother used to make like donuts and all these different things. So I would be in the market selling all those stuff. Yeah, yeah, just to bring something back, and yeah, so it's yeah, it was work. But we were there for 7 years, and after that time period, um, we finally came to Canada. What was your impression? Did you know you were coming to Canada, or did you know exactly where you were going when you
I
left?
didn't want to come, honestly.
You did not want to come.
I didn't
Wow.
want to come. It took people in the neighborhood, the community, to come and track me down
Oh,
because
they
I
had
ran
one of
away.
those. Oh, you did.
I ran away.
Shit.
Yeah, I didn't want to come. I wanted to go play ball. I wanted to go to Europe. I felt like, and it took me a while to get over that
Hmm.
because I always felt like if I had stayed, I was a teammate with Michael Essien, and he's Ghanaian. I was playing over him.
No way.
Yeah, yeah. Sitting at home, seeing him play for Chelsea, I'm like,
That could have been you.
yeah. But God, I think God wanted this for me.
Right.
We always have a choice.
Um.
At least the
So
way we
let's fast forward to you're in Canada now.
Right.
What are you doing? What's your impression of Canada, and how are you feeling?
Different, man.
Yeah.
Had to learn everything new again.
What was the hardest part?
I think the hardest part was leaving my friends back home,
Hmm.
and you come out here. We say we speak English in Liberia, but it's different out here.
It's different.
So now kids are making fun of you.
Hmm.
So you got to adopt.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know,
That's wild because and I can completely relate to that. And we speak much faster too. So the
very,
twine is even different.
very.
So even when we try to slow it down, I remembered there was a lot of time, a huge language barrier with friends communication going back and forth, and also even just from my own little twine and what I thought was English wasn't good enough.
That's why I struggle with that. But I always say to people, we find a way to adapt.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Knowing from where I came from, I went to Ghana. I didn't understand the language, but I adopted.
Hmm.
I understand the language pretty well.
Hmm.
you know,
That's right.
I don't speak it like I used to because I've been here so long now, but
Right.
I understand it
How long you been in Canada?
since '94.
Oh wow. Right, right. You did say you were in Ghana until like '94. Damn. Okay, so you were like 3 years before me, because we never got here till like
'97.
'97. Yeah. So that was. So let's get into the fun stuff, and I know that.
I'm ready, man.
Well, let's get into the
Get
fun
me going,
stuff.
Rico.
All this
I'm
war
ready.
stuff,
I'm ready, man.
all this war
Let's-
stuff is boring.
Let's not bring people down, man.
Let's not bring people down. Let's
Yeah,
uplift
yeah, yeah.
people.
Yeah, let's do that.
So what was like your first dating experience?
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, let's
In
get into
Canada,
some fun stuff. Yeah, in Canada.
man, you won't believe this, man. I met this girl from New York
Hmm.
because in the past I've been, I dabble in New York a little bit,
Hmm.
family out there, stay out there a little bit too. So I met this girl from New York. Man, I still remember her name. I hope I don't get in trouble with my wife, but Anika.
Anika. There's a lot
Yeah,
of Anika. Don't worry.
man.
Yeah.
She, from the Caribbean,
Hmm.
and we used to have some good times, man. We just did just fun things, man. We just go out and did whatever made us happy. We did it,
Hmm.
you know. But that was the first date that I had in Canada. That somebody, yeah.
And to think that after all of these years,
Oh man, long time.
that person still is one of the names that will come up
Yeah.
even in conversations.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, that goes a long way. That means a lot.
Oh yeah, oh
It
yeah.
means that I'm not sure exactly what it means, all of it, but
No, but I always tell people you gotta know where you came from in order for you to know where you're going.
that's right. That's right. Hmm. Hmm.
Whether it's good or bad, you gotta know where you came from.
How do you find like relationship within like the Liberian community? What do you think that is the benefits not so much the benefit, but gauging it from the outside. How do you? Is your wife Liberian
No, my wife was in Caribbean.
or Caribbean?
Yeah.
Oh shoot, you went all the way on the other side. You
Yeah.
went to Ghana on a boat. You make sure to go on another boat.
Man,
Good for you,
I'm
my
on
man.
boats all the time, man. I love boats.
You're
Man.
the boatman.
But guess what? I don't even swim, so I don't know. I'm always
Don't
on the
get
boat.
in the water. Though.
Nah, I don't get in the water, man.
Okay.
I have to work on my tan.
I don't know why I thought your wife was maybe Liberian, but yeah. But what do you think that? I'm not sure if you're in a position to speak on it, but
Oh, I
I'm sure
can.
you've dated.
Because
Okay.
everything is open, man.
Yeah, everything is open. So
Yeah.
what do you think? Because a lot of the time I find, when I talk to like the Liberian fellows in the community, I hear them complaining about the women, and vice versa, the women complain as well. And to me, I'm thinking like, okay, I can pinpoint certain issues, but I kind of want to know because I'm still fairly new to this province. But you've been here longer, and you actually associate with the guys even more than I do. I'm still a visitor and a guest and a stranger to them. So, what do you think, like the relationship issues may be?
Well, I think don't matter if you're Liberian, Ghanaian, Nigerian. Relationship issues are relationships. Whatever you put into it is what you get out.
Right.
You can't say, okay, well, she's a Liberian girl, so she acts differently. He's a Liberian guy, and he's gonna do this because the last Liberian guy did that to you.
Right.
That mentality is wrong. You got to go in with an open mind. Whatever you put into it is what you get out. It doesn't matter. And I'm speaking from my experience because I've dated Liberian girls before. I can't sit here and say, oh, they don't do this, they don't do that.
Right.
It's you as a man, whatever you put into it. And sometimes some relationship only meant to go from here to there. And you learn a lot from there. Then you can take the next step and go. You can grow. There's nothing wrong with that. But our people, it's almost like when you leave, then that's it. Or he's a bad guy, or she's a, whatever. No, it doesn't work that way. Yeah.
No, I want to speak specifically to the community.
Right.
One of the issues that I see is the idea of not only that the relationship doesn't work, it's okay. Two people can go out and it doesn't work, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. You can always move on and find someone else.
Right.
Everyone isn't made for everyone. But I think my particular issue that I have with this Liberian community relationship sometime is that they leave another human being behind,
Meaning,
a child.
okay.
They leave a child, and then that is an unfinished situation, and then they move on and make more.
But that's not just a Liberian problem.
No. I'm not saying it's a Liberian
Yeah,
problem,
that's just
because I feel
life
like
in general.
Because I am a Liberian, I feel like for me, I would like to see a situation where we are a little bit more conscious and making better decisions
Right.
in terms of, and you're right, it's not just a Liberian problem because the same thing happened within other communities
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
A lot of communities, in fact.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do we need to do going forward, you think, to make sure that we don't have that generational, because the kids are growing up.
Yeah. Yeah. Once again, those are things that it comes to how you were raised. You know, you don't want to judge another man and say, okay, why you left your son here and you have a new relationship and you got kids here,
Right.
because you don't know his situation.
Right.
Everyone has their own thing that we're not aware of, and we look at them. And I use a common example with the guy from Black Panther. When he was on, he had pictures on the internet, and people were like, "What's wrong with him?"
Right.
They were clowning him, but you don't know that man was dying.
No.
And so I can't see another black man leaving a situation where, but then he got another kid. I don't know what's going on with him and that girl. But only thing is, we just hope that we will be more aware and care for these kids. That's the most important thing. We have to, because it's your own seed. That's you, pretty much. So we gotta care.
And once the child, what you're saying is that once there's a baby involved or there's another human being involved, it is our
It
responsibility as men
is.
to take care of that
I,
business.
I can't say,
That
oh,
business first.
because of the woman, she's this, so I can't care for my child.
Right,
No,
right,
it's not an excuse.
right.
We have to do it.
Do you think that a lot of that happens within the community or within any community that because of this sort of beef between the parents, right? That the child ultimately
Suffers.
suffers.
Yeah, yeah. I 100%. I know friends that in situations like that.
Mm-hmm.
I got friends that want to be there for the kids,
Mm-hmm.
but the mom makes it difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I got friends that don't want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand. I know some dudes that don't want to be bothered.
Don't want to be
Yeah,
bothered with
yeah,
that. Don't
yeah.
want to be
So
bothered with that responsibility.
at the end of the day, I think it comes down to the person.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, I won't lie to nobody. It took me a while to learn how to be a father. It's not a joke.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to be a father. It's not something I want to do every day, but I learned how to be. And as I learn, I tend to, man, I enjoy doing this.
Mm-hmm. What was the hardest part for you when you became a father?
Giving yourself up, meaning you're not going to do. It's not about you no more.
Amen. You can't be flashy all the time.
Nah,
Even though you're pretty flashy right
nah,
now.
I don't know about that,
But I
man.
understand,
I
yeah.
don't know about that, but anyone who knows me 20 years ago know what I was into,
Mm-hmm.
from the cars to everything. That was me.
Mm-hmm.
But that got to take a backseat now. My kids got to come first. That's the most important thing.
What made you do that?
To be honest with you, I just want to see them do good.
Okay.
I just want to see them do good.
That's a good reason.
And how do I see them do good? I got to cut back what I was doing.
Right.
If that means going to the club and popping bottles, I got to cut back on that.
You
Yeah,
gotta cut back on
that's
that.
it.
Stop paying it a little bit more attention.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That was it.
do you sometimes advise like your friends and say, hey, maybe this is what I've done? How many times? Because in every friends group, there's always a knucklehead. Doesn't matter what you say, what you do.
I got knuckleheads. Yeah, they put that right there. I got
You have too
knuckleheads.
many.
Yeah.
You have too many
No,
around.
but the good thing about it though, my mom always said this to me. I'm blessed, right? Because I got a lot of guys around me. Most of the guys I hang out with are way younger than me,
Mhm.
but most of my guys, even that my age, they tend to call me for advice.
Right.
Like sometimes my wife would be like, "I wish sometimes you take your own advice." You know,
Isn't that interesting?
you know, because she's like, "You be giving her these good advice, but you don't take them."
You don't take 'em.
And I'm like, "I'm trying."
I'm trying to take my own advice. Maybe I need someone else.
There you go. We all need somebody though. No,
We
real
do.
talk. We all need somebody.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
We
It's that
all
can
need
sit there and
somebody.
give the best advice
Yeah,
to every situation,
it's
but
crazy,
when
man.
it comes to us sticking it,
Man, I would get off the phone sometimes and be like, "Man,
damn.
but how come I ain't doing that?"
You could literally, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and he's like, you know what, man? I realize the older I get, I feel like people should be paying me for.
That's how I feel though.
That's how you feel.
Yeah. No. Yeah, on some real. That's how I feel. That check should be coming in the mail.
Well, why don't you just throw the idea out there and see what happens? You think they'll pay for it?
Like I said, I got too many knuckleheads. I know they're gonna pay for that.
Ah, man, that's why. But you know what? Um, it's unfortunate that I'm not always around the community or that I don't come around all the time because.
But let me stop you there.
Yeah. Go ahead.
How come you don't come around?
Um, I think that when I came here a few years ago, and my cousin Ayuba, and of course I have like two brothers who live in town and whatnot.
Right.
When I came, I was very enthusiastic because my choice was I could have went to Toronto, Montreal, based on what I'm into.
Right.
Could I went to Toronto, Montreal, or even Vancouver, even though that was the farthest. I wasn't even like top three.
That's
Too far.
By the way, that's my city.
Oh yeah.
That's where I came when I came to.
Oh, that's a beautiful city. But I was in Windsor, right? So and I was trying to do the numbers. I was trying to figure things out, and I was like, look, I need cash. I need to be somewhere where I can get cash, and so I'm talking to people from all these different places
Right.
to see what would be the best situation. and the most energy I got was from this province.
Alberta.
Yeah, and also another thing that I was super excited about was um, the numbers of immigrants in terms of like my
Right.
people. So I was super excited when I came. I was dumbfounded. I mean, Ayuba would call me up, say, "Yo, we're going here," or like his brother Mo would call me up and say, "Yo, we're going here."
Okay,
And
I'm
like,
going.
okay,
Let's
I'm
go.
going.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Mhm.
Let's go. After a while, I come from a background of doing. If I was doing absolutely nothing, I was partying, just partying.
Well, that's what
And I think Ayuba.
that's what y'all do in what's it?
In New
New,
Zealand.
yeah.
We do a lot
That,
of that in New
that's what
Zealand.
y'all do.
But
Over
you
there.
guys do it too.
Nah,
Don't
nah,
act like you don't.
nah,
I've seen like
nah.
people with like they will have like a birthday, and then they will have like some because you know people have two birthdays in a year. I never seen it till I came to Calgary.
Who do you know got two birthdays, man?
Dog, listen.
Come on, man. You playing, man. Stop, man.
No, dog.
Stop.
They will have a flyer and have like people go to the club on 1 month, and then the following event it'd be like in the same year they have another birthday again. So,
Really?
yeah, you guys are ballers.
Nah. Yeah, not me, man.
But I think that when I came here, in all seriousness, I don't think I was ready to fall back into that routine of just
A partying, yeah,
bullshit,
for no reason.
for
Yeah.
no reasons.
Yeah.
And so my thing was, okay, cool. At least that was kind of like my strategy. I said,
Well, if I go out tonight, I'm going to meet a whole bunch of people. Hopefully, we can vibe on something, come up with situation. At the time, I was still trying to figure out how to get all this thing organized and put it all in perspective. So for me, what would have worked out is if I met people that was also on the same playing field. Unfortunately for me, I just couldn't find anybody on the same playing field. So that entire situation got me very frustrated with the idea of going out and staying within that environment,
Right.
just doing the same thing over and over. We go to someone's house, we
Party.
eat, we're full, we party, we leave, we go to the club, we sleep, we do the same
Next
thing,
day.
repeat, right? So I did that for about a year, and then I was like, I can't do this because I needed to get focused.
Right.
I needed to be by myself. I got frustrated, and I had to make a lot of bold decisions, but those are decisions that I will probably not regret.
We always have a choice. Or at least I think we do.
I think that's what it is. So
We
coming
can
back to my
always-
initial point was that I was very grateful today to be out there and watching all these young players that you brought, and that's the next conversation that we're going to get into. So now you're a coach. You've been coaching for how long? What got you into it?
Once again, just go back to my passion, and I think I love teaching. I love to that knowledge I have, what I've learned from guys I played with, guys, coaches I played under, to pass that on, and that's where my kids, my 18-year-old played pro soccer. You know what I mean? I enjoy it. I want to see the kids succeed. I want to see them do good. You know, and people always say to me, "Well, you're coaching," but I'm like, "No, I'm doing more than that. This is more than football." Because the discipline that you get from here, you can walk to anywhere and get a job. Discipline. Because if I tell you, be at the field at 6 a.m., you're there. That discipline is right there.
absolutely.
You might not go pro, but guess what? When you go and get a job, you be on time.
You'll be on time.
And that's very important.
Yeah.
And I
so-
must say, like, you're a very good coach. I've been
I don't know about that, man.
We
You
connect-
trying
no, no,
you
no.
trying to make me feel good.
Nah, you know what? I'm one of these guys, I want to vibe with certain personality because I tend to say certain things that might rub certain fellas the wrong way.
Doesn't matter, man.
But,
you gotta
like-
be yourself.
But I have to say that you are a good coach. And the reason I say that is because I'm on your Facebook. I also see your Facebook feed. And I've seen progress and almost like a report card almost. Like results
Pretty much.
coming from
Pretty
your
much.
circle, direct circle, and where players are going and how people talk about you. Like when I was talking about, I think I was talking to Sonny and Hassan And I was like, man, I need to connect with somebody in the Liberian community, but I need somebody that really resonate with the people that is doing something. And your name came up without even thinking about it. No one said go talk to my pastor. No one said none of that. Your name came up, OG.
Yeah, I mean, I just naturally that's me, just to give back.
Mm-hmm.
Like even these kids that you see today playing, we these kids were babies when I was playing. They were babies.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's a pleasure for me to even coach them. It's a pleasure for me. I tell them all the time. I'm like, and I'm not here to coach you. I'm just here to guide you.
Mm.
You know how to play already.
I like that.
I'm only here to guide you.
Mm-hmm.
If I see you going astray, I bring you right back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm here. Just
And
to
your
guide
boys
you.
can play too.
Oh, yeah,
Them boys,
they're good. They're
them
good.
boys are fire.
They're
bro.
good. They're good. They're good. They're all right.
Them boys, man.
They're all right, man. But tomorrow, I think it's going to be a special day because
What time is the game tomorrow?
we play at 1 p.m. And I think that for me, when you talk about coaching, I like there has to be a reason why you're playing.
Right.
I know we all want to kick a ball and run around, but what is the reason? What we trying to accomplish this weekend? We got people back home. We got people driving right now on the highway coming. There are people driving tomorrow morning coming. Yeah. So why are we playing? Is it just because of me and Rico want to kick a ball? No.
Right.
If we're playing for something, you would deeper to accomplish that. But if it's just about you and me, we can quit anytime.
Right. So here's the question: Why are they playing?
Number one, the community. The community. We got to get Liberia's name out there. We got one of the best players in the whole world right now, Alfonso Davis,
Alfonso Davis
from Liberia.
Yeah.
But guess what? 80% of the kids he saw over there are all his friends. They all grew up with him. They played with him.
That's wild.
So
That's wild.
we,
So now
know,
it's like that competitive thing. It's
yeah,
like,
they
boy win. I know I can make it.
exactly.
Yeah.
He actually motivated them to do that.
That's wild.
You know, they're taking Snapchats and pictures and sending it to him. Look where we are. We're in Calgary trying to accomplish this. And I'm only there to guide them to accomplish that.
I think this is one of the exciting things that I've seen. You know, often, you know, when you're young, you hear about professional soccer player like George Oponwia, for instance, right? But you're not directly connected to him, and you don't know anybody who's directly connected to him. And I feel like we're now in a community where we have a professional soccer player.
There's a
Alfonso
link.
Davis,
Yeah.
And there's this natural link.
Yeah,
The whole of
yeah.
Edmonton. This is natural link.
Yeah.
There's a gentleman on Facebook, Tio, who always posts
I know Tio.
about him.
I know Tio well.
You know.
Yeah.
And
And-
that gotta be amazing. I mean,
It
did
has-
you have anything to do with his success?
I always say this to people. No one person can ever have anything to do with nobody's success. The player is the one responsible. He put in that work. Nobody, no man can stand up and say, oh, because of me, Alfonso is over there. It's a lie. Alfonso is where he is because of Alfonso.
You think so? Now, you see, I'm going to go back to another very famous fighter, Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Mike Tyson gave the credit to his
Trainer.
trainer.
Yeah.
Every time, every interview, he said, I wouldn't be anything because this guy used to. He's like, I was just a knucklehead in the hood doing things and wilding out and
Yeah.
doing all
But,
kinds of crazy
but guess
stuff.
what? The story about Alfonso is very different turns.
Got
But the person that was really there for Alfonso, this guy called Nick, who's his agent right now.
Got
This the one that when Alfonso mom and dad was working night shift,
Mhm.
he's the one that was driving Alfonso to soccer and picking him up and
doing all those.
yeah. So that's one person can say, you know what?
I
Everybody, I always say this. Sometimes on Facebook, I say it takes a village.
to raise the kid, yeah, that's right.
So maybe indirectly, some people got something to do with it, but the player is the one responsible. Bunch of people came to me today on the field. Oh, we saw your son play. Congrats. I said, no, don't tell him.
Mhm.
he worked for that.
Your 18-year-old
Yeah.
son. Yeah.
I'm like, he worked for that.
Who does he play for now?
FC Edmonton.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. You have nothing but ballers in your corner.
We tried.
So now this is exciting though because we were having a conversation early on today. You said that something about Liberia that you could potentially be an assistant coach to the national team.
Yeah, the U17.
Yeah.
A good friend of mine called Ansu Kita from Montreal was named the head coach, and he asked me to be his assistant. But it's something I'm discussing with my wife. She doesn't like to hear it, but
No?
I'm discussing it with.
She doesn't want you to go, but she can come along.
Yeah, but she's not ready for all that yet. So
Yeah, that's a traumatic.
and my man, we got 5 boys.
Oh wow. I didn't know that. This is new.
But
stuff.
you see my picking on the field today. My kids are on the field
No, I
today.
didn't know like so many.
Yeah,
people on the
my
field.
kids are
I don't know
there.
who is who.
My kids on the field today.
Oh,
Yeah,
no way. So you have 5 boys.
yeah.
What are
Man.
the age range?
20, 18, 17,
Wow, these are grown
12,
men.
and 6.
Dog. You popped out grown men.
Oh man.
And I'm a granddad too.
Oh, the 20-year-old? I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I got a 2-year-old granddaughter, man.
From the 20-year-old. I mean, that's what I'm guessing.
No, that's from my daughter.
Oh, your daughter.
My daughter is 24 years old.
Holy shit. So you have 5 boys.
And a girl.
Five boys and a girl.
And a girl. 24 year
So
old.
6. Wow. What, did you have her here in Canada or like back home?
Yeah.
Wait, man, this sounds like as soon as you landed, that's the first thing you did. You just you're like, all right, Canada, thank you. Now I'm on a mission.
Family, man. Family.
Wow, that's wild. 24 years old.
Yeah, man.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, man.
That's amazing. Now your grandfather. How does that feel? That must feel great.
Oh, I love it.
I know we're segueing from like
Yeah.
you
No,
coaching. And
I threw you a curveball. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, you did. You kind of brought in a whole bunch of stuff.
My bad.
I couldn't escape. I
My
was like-
bad. My bad.
So, if this falls through, I mean, are you excited about this at all? What do you think?
About what?
Coaching and going back home. I mean, that's exciting.
No,
I don't know. Like,
I love it, but at the same time, what I said to them was I made them a counter offer to be, because one thing Lone Star had never had before in the past is a scout.
got it.
So I
Really? I didn't know that.
never had a scout.
In fact, I don't know much
And
about my own
the
country.
reason why we didn't have a scout, if you look at a kid like Alfonso, that's why he plays for Canada. Because if we had a scout, someone would have saw him early,
And scoop him out.
and he'd be playing for Liberia.
And he'd be playing for Liberia.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right
So
about that.
I said to them, I said, you know what? Let me be the North American scout. Meaning anything in the U.S. and here, any kids that coming up. Like now we got a kid that played for D.C. United. 16-year-old kid just made his debut on Tuesday. Good footballer. We got to get to him early.
Liberian Tale.
Yeah, before the U.S. gets to him.
Is
so-
he from Edmonton too?
No, he lives in D.C. in the States.
Oh, in
Yeah,
Washington.
Washington. Yeah.
It's wild.
So I said to them, I can be the North American scout. I can go there, talk to the parents, and talk to these kids. Whatever we got to do to make it happen.
And what they're saying about? I think
Oh.
that's a great idea.
No, they actually thinking about it. So
They like
it looks like
They
it's
should maybe
going to.
sleep on that.
Because this is how, like, I don't understand. Like, why would you even, like, think about something like that? Like,
But that's why
are
Ghana
things you
that's why
don't.
Ghana is so good.
That's why Ghana is so good. Ghana had a
They're
summer
scouting.
program for.
Ghana got academies, the scouting.
That's right.
I grew up at it's called winning by sports complex. That's where I grew up. All my time was spent over there, waking up at 5 in the morning, running, go an hour run and an hour back.
you know, it's funny. No one ever asked me this question, like, why? Because when I used to play soccer, I was super fast. It's
You
because-
fast?
Dude,
Oh my God!
dude, you couldn't catch me. Man, like, but that's only because when I was back home, my mother, we used to sell like outside like this nightclub, right?
Right.
And then after, I would try to cut corners and pocket some money. So the money I'm supposed to be using for transportation to go home, I decided to run away
Really?
back. Oh, dude, we did all kinds of stuff.
You got
So you don't realize all of these little things that you put yourself through as a kid actually helps you when you come to like a sports environment.
right,
Sports setting.
right.
We live not too far from like the beach, so I would cut into the beach. I'd be running through the sand, I was doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I was a crazy kid, like so much energy. So when I come to Canada and I was playing, nobody could catch me. I had that ball, I was gone.
Really?
Yeah, I told my, you guys would tell you, even Thomas would tell you. I tore my ACL
Hmm.
and it flip inside out, and then they stitch it back together. And then me coming from Africa, not knowing anything about therapies,
You just started
they
playing.
gave
Yeah.
me some papers. They're like, go home, do this. I was like, okay, sure.
You
Went home.
You didn't do nothing.
I didn't do nothing,
Damn.
and I never recovered. It was wild.
Crazy though.
Yeah, but that's like, those are things that happen. So I'm super excited to see all these young people just like, and you being like the front of it. So when are you looking at for all of this to sort of like fall through?
Well, when I get home on Tuesday, hopefully next week I will have some answers and clarity. So we'll see how that goes. From the messages I've been getting from back home, it's been positive. Even my little sister called me. She's so excited. I heard your name on the radio, and you might be assistant coach. I was like, oh, hold up, no.
Really? It's already on the radio.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's crazy.
I'm like, nah.
I love how they got on that real quick.
I'm like, nah. But then, they got some people that questioned it. Like, he didn't play that. He did. You know how it is, man. You know how it is.
Dude, everybody's gonna question something.
But that's okay though.
That's-
I'm comfortable in my skin. I know what I can
And that's
bring to
what's
the
important,
table.
because I feel like if I feel like once people start questioning, there's no such thing as a bad publicity. No. Right? So to me, it's a publicity, but it's a publicity that's worth like living for and seeing through. So it's okay for people.
Nah, for me, I'm very comfortable in who I am and what I bring to the table.
You have the record to back it up as well, even though you're very modest, by the way.
my friends wouldn't say that.
No.
You already know Rico. Sonny would be like, nah, OG, man.
Oh, really? So you're doing all this for the camera right now?
No, not for the camera.
You're showing them a different OG.
No, I'm talking the real talk. But at the end of the day, I will pound my chest when that work is done. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
That's right.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
All right. So let's wrap this up. What is it that you want the youths to know? What are like your final words? So a couple things. Final words to the players. Final words to relationship, whether it's in the Liberian community or just within ourselves. I just feel like we need to do better. We're doing okay. Some people are showing up, for the birthday parties and whatnot, the baby showers and things like that, and that's a great thing. Like, you're married. You're always going to be there for your wife and kids. And those are people that you love dearly, right? So imagine if 100 of us did the same thing and had the same approach, had to sacrifice to be with our family, had to sacrifice for our kids. Say, look, I'm not going to go balling tonight or popping bottles tonight because I know my baby daughter is going to wake up tomorrow morning and I need to be there to help out my wife, change diapers and do this and do that. So let's send out, to wrap this up, your final words and also an advice to everybody else out there watching this podcast.
Yeah, for me, I don't like to talk too much about what other people are doing, but just as people in general, humans, we can do so much more. Meaning, when I say that is, we always try to do the big things. Don't worry about the bigger things. The little things is what counts. The little things. I coach a lot of kids, right? And knowing that, especially in our African community, the parents does not support the kids when it comes to that. Until a white dude comes and says, oh, your son is very good, and people are talking about it, and then that's when they want to come. We have to be there for them. I know you got to work. Everyone works in this country. But you have to. If your son, forget, you might think, Oh well, he's chasing a soccer ball. I don't care.
Do you think that you could go to a parent and say your son is good, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, okay, good," and they jump behind that, or does it have to be a white dude?
Oh no, I can do it because I don't just get behind any player. I don't care how talented you are. You have to be up here. You got to be okay too. It's more than just playing. There's more to it. If you can't comprehend, why am I wasting my time?
Gotcha.
I get phone calls all the time to coach kids. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it because you know he's a knucklehead. I'm not doing it.
That's right.
So bottom line is the parents got, especially in our community, support the kids. Support them. Don't wait till they like, oh yeah, my son. No, because your son is not going to play every game his best game. There's going to be some bad games. I've been to games where my son plays so bad, I'm like, damn. But guess what? He's still my son. I got to pick him up.
That's right. Yeah.
I got to pick him up.
Yeah.
And we have, because we got the most, Rico, I'm not lying to you, we have the most talent, especially Liberian community. I'm telling you right now, we have the most talented kids in Canada right now. Right now. No one can challenge me on that.
What would you like to see with these kids?
Whatever it might be, man, their dream, whatever. If you, I always say to people, when people call me and say, oh, I want my son to come work with you, can you work with my son? I'm like, okay. I said, one thing I would guarantee is he would get a free scholarship. I won't guarantee him going pro. I guarantee him getting a free scholarship. Let's support these kids, man. No one got money to pay no $30,000 a year for a scholarship. But guess what? Football can give you a free scholarship. You don't got to play football after it.
And
You can go on to be whatever you want to be.
That's right.
And that's the most important thing. So when you say what the message, that's the message. Support the kids.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Thomas. You know where I'm going with this. So, I know, and I'm going to put you on the spot. On a scale from 1 to 10, where do you put Thomas?
As a footballer or as a
Yeah.
person?
No, as a footballer.
Oh, Thomas is 9.
9.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
No, he's 9. And the reason why I say he's 9, he has the discipline, the tactical ability, the know-how. He has it all. The only reason why he didn't play anywhere because the opportunities that are available now wasn't available then.
Right. Wish I had you in my corner. That would have been legendary. But it's all right.
My kids don't even appreciate me. They tell me I'm the worst player in my house.
They would never fucking appreciate
They
you.
say I'm the worst player in my own house. So
Never appreciate you. Well, man, look, Freddie OG. Now, he said his full name at the beginning of this podcast.
You already know, man. One and only.
I know him as Freddie OG.
One and only.
No one else is better. So I want to give all credit, and I want to thank you so much for being on 18th Avenue podcast. And please, if this is your first time joining and watching, follow us on YouTube, 18th Avenue Podcast, 18thAvenuePodcast.com. You can find us on Spotify, Anchor Podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast. I can't list all of them off. You know I've been kind of blazing up, feeling sexy.
You already know.
You know.
You
So,
already know.
Freddie, where can they find you? Because I'm sure some parent out there wants to know, and they probably have a kid that play. And from your result, I'm going by your scorecards right now. When you go
Right.
to school, after 3 years or at the end of the year, you get a scorecard.
Right.
And that tells you how you've been performing in math and science and all these
Yeah.
different subjects.
We all been there.
So far, you are freaking acing everything. So
Uh,
I'm sure there's a parent out
I'm
there
trying, man. I'm
who wants
trying.
to figure this thing out and say, look, how can I get my son or daughter to go to get a scholarship?
Where
can they find
Hit me on my IG, man. Freddy Malek. FreddyMalek. Hit me on IG. best coaching, one-on-one, technical, tactical, everything. I got it. Hit me on that. But it's been a pleasure. I must say, Rico, thank you. It took a while, but I'm glad that we were able to sit down and chop it up, especially talking about back home. You really brought me to a different level.
Yeah.
I didn't, yeah, you brought me to a different level. But thank you. And,
Yeah.
and I hope you don't treat me like a stranger, man. Bring me back again, man. More time so we can chop it up.
Dog,
You know?
this is your platform as much as it
Yeah,
is my
man.
platform.
I read.
might
I
be the
read it.
guy who
You
bring
made
the
it.
lights.
You made it easier for me. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
since I stopped playing pro, I never done things like this. So you made it easy for me.
Well, you
I
know
thank
what?
you.
This is going to be your next home. The next time we will probably shoot this thing in Edmonton. I come
Oh,
see
then
you there.
you come in my basement. We do it right in my basement. I got all
we do it
the
right in the
soccer
basement.
jerseys right there, everything right there, the backdrop. Let's do it.
I will. I will. All right, guys. Look, I want to thank you all. Peace, love, and follow the channel.
You already know. Hey, hit him up, man. Hey, wake up. 18th Avenue Podcast.com. Check my boy Rico. You already know.